What's going on, Mom and Dad? Brad and Greta Zude, Parenting with the Zudes podcast. And on today's episode, we're talking about the weighted feed. Mm-hmm. That's right. Maybe you are searching, you have no idea what the weighted feed is, how to do a weighted feed, why it's even important to do.
Or maybe you have heard about the weighted feed and you are dying for a way to know how much breast milk you're transferring to your baby at each feeding.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. If you're listening to us on the podcast, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave that 5-star review. But you can head over to YouTube where we're live right here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you like talking babies and toddlers and parenting and marriage and all that kind of good stuff. Again, we're Brad and Greta Zude, #1 best-selling parenting authors with 8 children of our own. We've been in diapers 12-ish years. And we do all things baby.
Yeah, we do lots of baby.
So if you're a breastfeeding mom and you're wondering, did my baby get a good feed?
Yeah. So I think this is an issue that all breastfeeding moms struggle, not all, but most breastfeeding moms will struggle with this from, at some point, is my baby getting enough? And I don't know. And if I'm scheduling feedings, how do I know if they're getting enough? So there are lots of metrics that you can use to find out if your baby is fed well. One of the things that we really preach is full feedings, full feedings, full feedings.
Yep.
Because that's what leads to the full night's sleep. But you're like, well, I don't know if it's a full feeding or not. Well, they nurse for this long, and I don't know. So you've got, you can look at the wet and dirty diapers. You can see, are they content during their awake time? Are they sleeping their entire naps? Are they extending their nights, or are their nights, are they sleeping full nights if they have already been sleeping full nights? But if you're still like, I don't know, and I just want to know how much, because we're kind of stuck on ounces and that number of ounces, and sometimes you just want to know.
Well, so, and obviously I think it goes without saying, but if you're formula feeding and you put 4 ounces in a bottle, you know exactly how much they took.
You do, yeah. And so I think we like to know numbers, and we like to know data, and that makes us feel better when we know that stuff. So, and it can just be really interesting. So it wasn't until our baby number 7 that I got my own little scale, and I
stole it from my tackle box.
It is a fish scale, but I was fascinated by
let's
the
show them
data.
that here.
All right.
So here's just.
Yeah, I think I paid like $8.99 for it.
It's not going to zoom in. We got to do the face thing.
Face thing. There you go.
There you go. Little nice, just digital hook there.
The one thing I don't like about this one is it doesn't have ounces. It's, pounds, point. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Just pounds.
Well, you can either do the whole thing in ounces, like 165 ounces, or you can do it in 10.63 ounces. You know what I mean? So the 0.63 isn't, it's not 10 pounds, 9 ounces. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what the math is. I'm just making up numbers. But you know what I mean? So then I have to do a little math. But I think if you spend a little bit more, you can get the ones that have the pounds and the ounces. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Longer numbers.
Yeah. So anyway, should we walk them through how we do this?
Yep.
Okay. So here's what I got. We got the scale, and again, Amazon, super cheap.
It was what, $10 or something?
Yeah, $8.99 I think I paid for it.
Yeah.
And then then I have my sling, and I made this myself. And this is I just took one of those like
what's a
swaddle blanket?
Yeah.
It's a swaddle blanket. It's one of those muslin swaddle blankets.
So it's about how long? 2 feet, 3 feet?
I have no idea.
Yeah, probably 3 feet.
Look at this. I made this 2 years ago, and I still haven't trimmed my strings. Nice. Anyhow, there is a specific way to fold these. And you can find tutorials online if you search for like baby weight sling. You can find the tutorial on how to fold this all.
Yeah.
And then I put these D rings in, and then I had to hand sew this. So this whole thing is not very
So
pretty.
they call them D rings literally because they look
like a D.
Look like the letter D
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So they're flat on one side.
Yeah. So then what I do, off. Okay. So what I do is you start out first, no baby. And you turn it on. And you, hello. And you let it 0. Is it gonna 0? Okay. Gonna let it 0. There we go. Now, this is before the feeding. Whoopsie. There is no room here.
I know. Sorry.
I'm struggling. Okay, you want to help me out?
Yep, here, I'll hold this.
So then baby goes in sideways. We got to hold this up. Okay, and then like that. Only, all the way in so baby's not falling out.
Yep,
okay,
there you
what
go.
do we get? What do we get? What? Okay, hold on. We're going to try that again. Oh, man. I'm screwing this up. I totally unzeroed it. It's okay. We can do it without zeroing it. Really? 1 pound? 1.39. Okay. 1.39.
All right, 1.39.
Now, I had the weight of this in there. The reason you zero this, you zero the scale with the sling, is so that you don't have to factor out the sling.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that my sling weighs 0.39, so I'm just going to put 1 pound. So I've got my chart here.
No, here, let's show them what's on the
Okay.
chart. Talk them through what's on the chart.
Pretty simple chart. I have my beginning weight in the middle, and then I'm going to put my after the feeding weight, all the way to the left, and then it just makes the math a little bit easier. Okay, so we have 1.00. And now baby's going to take a super full feeding. And let's see, a nice old T here.
There you go.
Okay. And I'm just going to tap my button again and see. And now we got 2.35. All right, you want to take that?
Yep.
Okay. So now I'm going to put my 2.35, but then I have to take out the sling. So I'm just going to put 2.
There you go. Just in case you've never seen a number on a scale. There you go.
All right. So for those of you not good at math, 2 minus 1 is 1. All right.
You might have mom brain. Might
have mom brain, but that's okay. So I do my after the feeding weight to the left, then I put my beginning weight in the middle. My difference is 1. Now, yep, just like that. Just like that.
Showing it off. Sorry.
Now, if you have something like 2.35, or 1.35 at the end, hopefully your baby's not 1 pound. But let's just say it is. Can you grab my phone?
Yeah.
And your scale is like mine. Then you have to do some extra math. Fun. So you've got 1 pound, and then I've got 0.35 of another pound. And if I don't know how many ounces that is, I just say 0.35 times 16 ounces.
Hey, Siri.
You know what?
Oh.
Well, and then
Just
I've
kidding.
got, 5, I don't know if you can see that, 5.6 ounces. So baby weighs now, baby took 1 pound, 5 ounces, because the T is really heavy. Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing that I didn't know, and I had to look up, weighted and fluid are different. Like the, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like volume,
right.
Fluid volume ounces
Yep.
is different than the weight. And what we're measuring here is the weight. But actually, the conversion is almost exact for weight of milk and the ounces, fluid ounces. So you don't have to go and convert that. It's like 1.0 something.
Yeah, so whatever the difference is of the pre-weight versus the post-weight in ounces.
Yep. is actually
what they
the
got.
volume that they took, the fluid ounces.
Now there's
volume.
16 ounces in a pound.
16 ounces in a pound, yes.
Okay. So if it was 1 pound, whatever, which obviously it's never going to be that, but you don't have to go into that much math, I guess, because your baby's never going to take a pound.
No, they won't.
Feeding.
They won't. However, I was shocked. when I measured how much our I think he was like 3 months old at the time, 2 or 3 months old at the time. This was crazy. I measured Thomas, his first morning feeding. And do you know what he took?
No.
Okay, this is insane to me. I was like, oh, I don't know if he's getting enough. I'm getting old and my milk supply might not be as good as it used to be. And I don't know. And so I did the weighted feed early in the morning, at the first morning feeding, and he took 13 ounces. 13 ounces. Do you know how much 13 ounces is?
Well, 16 ounces is a pound.
Yeah, it was
so
insane.
It's 0.8 pounds.
I was absolutely shocked that I think it was about 2.5 months old at that time, but he could chug it down.
That's a big boy.
That's a big boy.
And we have big babies, and
We do.
You have plenty of thick, heavy.
I always call it heavy cream because our children have no problem gaining weight at all. But it's always nice to have that peace of mind. And if you really want to see how much you are producing, I always recommend that you measure in a 24-hour period, because when you're breastfeeding, your first morning feeding after you haven't fed for, an extended period of time at night, that's going to be a really large feeding. So if my baby takes 13 ounces that first morning feeding, he's not going to take 13 ounces all the subsequent feedings
Correct.
of the day, the next
Correct.
4 or 5 feedings of the day, right? So your supply changes throughout the day, and it depends on what they take in the morning. And so while he might have taken 13 ounces in the morning, his last feeding of the day might be like 3 or 4 ounces. And
is that normal?
it's very normal. And the funny thing is, the consistency of your milk changes. So we talk about foremilk and hind milk. And foremilk is thinner, and hind milk is very rich and thick and fatty. And you're getting to all the way to the bottom of the barrel, right? And so if I pump in the morning compared to my pumped milk at night, the morning milk is like white, thinner, more watery, and the stuff from the night is really yellow and opaque
Creamy.
looking. Yes, it is. So your baby, after they've not drank all night long, they are using that larger feeding to rehydrate. So it's fascinating stuff. But make sure if you are going to measure, do it for a 24-hour period. So.
Yep. All right. So there you have it. That is a weighted feed. And if you guys like talking baby stuff and baby sleep and baby feedings, we do that a ton here on the channel. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you are on iTunes, don't forget to subscribe. Leave us that 5-star review, and we'll see you on the next one.